We can now confirm that the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei, has been killed in the joint United States-Israeli airstrikes. It is official. Ayatollah Khamenei is dead. Photos of his corpse have been shown to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as well as to Donald Trump, and his death has now been confirmed by multiple credible sources, enough that we can report it here on the MeidasTouch network with a great degree of confidence. But folks, there has always been a succession plan in place for the Iran regime. They're going to be picking a new leader soon through their parliament. And if anything, they've only accelerated their attacks right now, their retaliatory strikes, that is, on Israel and in the neighboring countries from Bahrain to the United Arab Emirates and Abu Dhabi and Dubai and other surrounding areas. And so for anyone who believes the death of the Ayatollah, Khamenei, is going to mean a victory in this war, you don't understand the region. When the CIA was briefing Donald Trump and other intelligence services were briefing him about the risks of this war, they talked about the conflagration in the region, as well as the fact that killing Ayatollah Khamenei doesn't just stop the regime. The regime had a succession plan, and there is already, if anything, an acceleration of the attacks by Iran in the region. And as we look, for example, at the Strait of Hormuz, there's more information and data being gathered to suggest that ships are being blocked and that Strait of Hormuz, if it's not being shut down, it's certainly being impeded right now, which could also have a profound economic impact on our country and the world economy as well. So I want to go through just the data points with you right now. So yes, it has been confirmed that in a strike where Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei's compound was targeted, you can see it right there. He was one of several senior officials who were killed in this strike. You can see the satellite imagery from the Airbus Defense and Space obtained by the New York Times showing the Ayatollah's home in Tehran that was entirely destroyed. It's believed it was that strike that killed him. It was the strike occurred during Shabbat and during Ramadan at a time apparently when the Ayatollah didn't expect it was going to take place. That's when the strike took place. He was caught off guard. He was killed right away in the beginning of this war. But major Iranian attacks on Gulf states is ongoing. That has not stopped. Iranians bombing Bahrain and Dubai and Abu Dhabi and the United Arab Emirates and nearby countries as well. And reports of a direct, breaking news folks, reports of a direct impact from an Iranian ballistic missile just hit Tel Aviv in central Israel moments ago. We have that footage as well. Let me show you again. Moments ago, as an Iranian ballistic missile has a direct hit in Tel Aviv. And folks, this is happening right now, of course, following the news that Ayatollah Khamenei has been killed in the joint U.S.-Israel strikes that they're calling Operation Epic Fury. But here on the MeidasTouch network, we are referring to it as Operation Epstein Fury or the Jeffrey Epstein War. Here, play this clip of that Iranian missile that just struck Tel Aviv in Israel moments ago. Let's play this clip.
And the Israelis, I think that's what the calculation now is. Regime preservation. Could you get a more pragmatic figure presiding over this regime? Sure.
Aaron, I just want to break in for a moment because we're looking at live pictures in the air over Tel Aviv, and obviously, as many people know or maybe don't know, there is an Iron Dome that Israel uses as its missile defense system, and we're seeing it working now. But in some places and instances, it does not work, and I believe this is one missile feasibly that has broken through the Iron Dome.
So Donald Trump moments ago also gave an interview to Axios to Barak Ravid, and he also gave an interview to NBC. Here's what he told Barak Ravid: "I can go long and take over the whole thing with regard to Iran, or end it in 2 or 3 days and tell the Iranians, see you again in a few years if you start rebuilding your nuclear and missile program," Trump told me. He says he now has several off-ramps from Operation Epstein Fury, Epic Fury in Iran. Our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, writes, so We're just going to spend billions in bombs, kill the Ayatollah, temporarily degrade their military, then walk away and hope they learn their lesson. That's the plan. Like, do you understand how the Iranian Revolutionary Guard works and how their succession plan work? And the Ayatollah gets killed. They just find another Ayatollah who's probably more extreme than that. And then also asked who would replace Iran's supreme leader. Donald Trump told NBC, "I don't know, but at some point they'll be calling me to ask who I'd like. I'm only being a little bit sarcastic when I say that." So Donald Trump, doing jokes, thinks this is all funny as America is currently at war. Share this with you as well. A high-rise building hit by Iranian drone is now full on fire in Bahrain. Here, play this clip.
شوف الكلب يهرب الكلب يهرب أمريكي
Now here's another video of the Iranian Shahid drone striking a high-rise apartment building earlier tonight in Bahrain. This was close to the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet in Jufair that was also struck. Here, play this clip. And now it also appears that Iran successfully was able to strike the Dubai International Airport. We have footage after the Dubai International Airport was hit by Iran. Here, take a look at this. And you can see people running away here as they're being evacuated from Dubai International Airport. Let's play it. And folks, there are videos of the people in Iran celebrating the Ayatollah being killed. And again, our heart goes out to all of the people in Iran. I mean, the Ayatollah and the regime is repressive, authoritarian, despicable regime. And the people in Iran have been treated brutally by this repressive regime for decades and decades and decades. And they do deserve freedom. At the same time, as an American, the question ultimately is, do we support wars of regime change? Do we want our taxpayer dollars going to things like this, where, for example, as part of regime change, our government in Israel blew up a elementary school, a girls' elementary school in Iran, and killed perhaps 100 little girls today were killed in the area known as Manab. Absolutely devastating strikes right there. And so do we support regime change? And this is an unlawful war. It is an unconstitutional war. Trump did not get constitutional authorization from Congress. And so I think that we can hold complex thoughts and say the people of Iran deserve freedom. The people of Iran deserve our thoughts and prayers and attention, but also it's an unlawful war. It's a war that Donald Trump should not have done without explaining to us what the hell is happening. And I don't support regime change wars. Period, full stop, end of story. We see what happens. So you got rid of the Ayatollah. There's going to be another one that comes in, and we already see things escalating even since the killing of the Ayatollah. But let's listen to some people clapping because they're hopeful. But Donald Trump's message is he may abandon them in a little bit, that I may just leave. And then imagine what's going to happen if America just does this and leave. Here, just play the clips of the people clapping. Let's play it. used for that purpose as it relates to Virginia Giuffre, stating those facts. And Donald Trump is seen there. The place he hung out with Epstein, monitoring today's strike campaign against Iran, dubbed Operation Epstein Fury, Epic Fury, alongside the Secretary of State Rubio, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs Dan Kane, and other senior officials at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, Florida. You see over here J.D. Vance and Tulsi Gabbard, and others right there. It looks like Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent are there. They're watching it over there. Take a look at what DropSite's telling us about the Strait of Hormuz. Tracking data shows dozens of oil and gas tankers are currently halting, idling, or diverting away from the Strait of Hormuz to seek refuge in ports in Qatar and the UAE, Bloomberg reports. Iran has not yet formally confirmed a complete official closure of the Strait of Hormuz, although the IRGC, the Iranian IRGC, has issued warnings to maritime traffic. Some vessels, such as the Desh Abiman, have been observed making U-turns just before reaching the strait's apex. Major shipping firms have officially suspended all transit through the strait until further notice. The Strait of Hormuz is the world's most vital of oil choke points, handling approximately 20 to 30% of global seaborne oil and nearly a quarter of the global liquefied natural gas, LNG. You can see that right there. Some other, as the open source intelligence defender account explains, remember, Khamenei is replaceable, and his death does not mean the death of the Islamic Republic. Now going over here, you can see what took place in Manab. That death count is probably closer to 100 right now. That the joint attack with Israel on Iran struck a girls' elementary school, killing all of these little girls. I mean, you can see right here these tragic images of the backpacks. There were 170 girls inside when the elementary school was hit by the United States military and Israel. And I'm just showing you some of the tragic images that are surfacing as well. Show those images right there, and we could just play you some of the B-roll so you can see what's going on right there in Manab. But for Donald Trump, he's joking about this. He thinks this is funny. He hasn't addressed the nation as of this recording. And Iran seems undeterred, even with the death of Ayatollah Khamenei, from continuing the attacks that we're talking about in the strikes, the retaliatory strikes in response to the preemptive strikes by the United States and Israel against its country. All right. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 7 million subscribers. Let's try to get there together soon. We need to keep growing this very quickly. So hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.